So it was a little bit of a down week for me on Supercoach and also fantasy, just a little bit back on both, unfortunately. But a 1270 this week with a couple of guys left on my bench, Blaze Talungi and a couple others, actually, Galvin, with his pretty good score as well that didn't work out perfectly for me. But overall, I'm pretty happy with where the team's at. It's just that rank that's a little bit of a, it's okay. It's not great, not awesome, not great. At the moment, end up having to use the one trade, Walshy to Drinkwater. So let's get in there and have a look at the squad now. So worked out pretty well this week. I had Coruscant as a scorer. He looks fine. He looks fit again. He finally scored a try. Thank goodness. Thank you for the offload there for that try. That was great. For our front row forwards there, I got Brayley there with a 55 as well. So he made a little bit of coin there, which is good at 5.5k. Up a decent amount since we have bought him. And at least Coruscant is going to stem the flow down in his price anyway. Terrell May there with a 49, up another little tick there, and we'll kind of stop now and potentially go down. And that big 120 is going to be out of his little rolling average, but it's worked out pretty well holding on to him over this last few weeks. Obviously there when he's got the couple of decent scores. 49 not the worst there, especially when Adam Fanua-Blake went a little bit lower. Josh Curran with a 48, we'll take it. It's not amazing, but more minutes this week was better. And that's what we need from him. Somewhere in that 50 to 60 will work out well. Angus Crichton, a little bit of a lower one for him there with a 62, but that's fine. Still goes up another 44.5k, and we'll see how he ends up with a potential spot in Origin, and we'll have lots of cash to play with if that's the case. Connor Watson at 698, another 52.7 up. So very happy to have bought him and owned him the last few weeks, especially with the situation that he's found himself as, playing better than Brandon Smith basically and getting good minutes. Eli Gatoa, gift that keeps on giving there, 108 for him with that awesome try and another line break in that one as well. Both for more base stat beast in this one for a 70. He's been great over the last sort of month or so. Really, come into his own, which is what we hoped for. It was a bit of a slow start there, and then he went, in 3 games, 71, 71. A couple of low ones again, but 76 and 70 back-to-back. He's actually will be a guy, I think, post round 13 as potentially an option. If he ends up scoring a try or two over the next few weeks, or this week coming anyway, I think people might target him in round 14. So that's a good guy to own. I'm very happy with that. So I played him there, which was good. I didn't play Kai Paul or Morgan Smithies in this one, even with him starting. Wasn't sure on the minutes how that was going to be, and as you've seen here, I didn't play Brayley in that one. Didn't play Pierce Paul or Smithies. I didn't play Galvin either, and I did end up doing the loop and took Nico Hines' vice captaincy score. So in the end, I actually think I probably would have captained, if I didn't take the VC of 114, I think I would have captained, it was either going to be Val, Drinkwater, actually it could have been Drinkwater, or it could have been Jermaine Asako. So in that scenario, did I lose out? Yes, I did, because Talungi ended up getting 102. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. 114 from Hines, I was happy to take, but obviously missed out in the 102 there. Missed out in Stranger's 74, and then Galvin's 79 as well. So, and picked up, Sammy Walker's 45. So overall, there's a lot of good scores in here. Very happy to see Isaac Tungo go for a try. Have Garrick in there with 101. Holmes, 49 was the bit of a killer, and he's dropped a ton of cash the last 2 weeks anyway. Down 43 this week, a little bit more before that. And surprisingly, just because of the last month for him, he's down, 83k now, which is a bit frustrating there on that one. And then buying Asako over the last 2 weeks has netted me 240s in a row. And that's happened with a few of my pickups in recent history. Apart from Garrick, he's done really, really well. But Isaac Tungo there, he went 30 odd into missing a game, but thankfully he came back with a good one in this one, and hopefully that's something that we'll see going forward. His base stats were great, and I finally got a try there, so that was good on that front. I'm very happy with where my team is at in terms of the depth that I've got, because you got Strange, Talungi, Galvin, Smithies, Pierce Paul there, Willison that can do a job, Jaden Brayley that can do a job as well to go along with all of the guns in the side. So I'm really happy with where the setup is. It's just not getting those massive scores at the moment. If we can pick up a good score there from Asako, then that would be happy days. If we're able to get Talungi's 100, where a lot of people just had to play him if they had a few guys out, or missing Johnson and just not playing him there and pick Talungi over that. And there's a few different situations where you would have had to play him, and then a lot of people would have just chose to play him. But it's funny that, against the Storm and Storm smashed them, that he was the guy to just come out and get all of their contributions. So he had the try and a couple of try assists there as well. Yeah, Drinky, bring him this week for Walsh, end up with a 76. So not too bad at all. Goes up a little bit in cash, which is good at 8K, and hopefully for him against the Tigers this week as well. It's the reason we bought him. It's the reason we have locked in with Holmes for a long time now, is the matchups, but he definitely has to play better there with Dylan Brown's 72. So you look at that side and you go, yeah, it's pretty good, but I still lost ranks. So we can take some solace in the fact that we're in a solid spot. 23 trades, not great. It doesn't look like we're going to have to trade this week. So that's cool. And some good money making there from Talangi as well. Actually didn't have a look at how much he actually went up, but 410k, he's up 90 this week. So this is massive now. He's got 2 really big scores, and he's rolling average now. He's going to go up very, very high, and we can quickly sell him once Gutho comes back, and if he does come back into that fullback spot. And hopefully it is after round 13 and we can get a good score out of him in that one there. So let's move to those leagues now. I did lose my matchup there. In the private group, I'm into 11th. In the Podmasters, down to 40th now. So we'll jump in and have a look at them, as we always do, with Brandon into 19th now after a really good score from him. Andrew into 100th. Luke into 161. So some good movement from a lot of these guys with scores in the 1300s to 1400s there, with David there at 1493. We'll check out his score. He had Grant and Marshall King, Fanua Blake even with 37, but Fafita as captain with Fermor, Crichton and Katoa, Walker and Hines. Brown there didn't play Galvin, had Garrick, Young, Iro, Talangi and Armstrong. The Armstrong's a big miss with a triple there. A lot of people had David, and I've got Blaze, didn't have David, didn't play either. So a little bit frustrating, but good money to be made with Armstrong over the next few weeks. He's not playing this week. He's still holding Turbo, and he had chances 95. So an incredible week from Dave there to move up. How many slots did he move up? Oh, wow. He was basically 1,400, now down to 418. So very, very impressive there. Ryan, Paul, and Brian, Mr. Brian Sini, Mr. General Physio, ended up having a cracking week at 1,404. So very, very good on that front. Yeah, not having Grant in there only hurt a little bit, given I had Coruscant, but Dylan Edwards is captain there with 120. It keeps going up in price. It's just incredible how that one's played out. So well done to everyone who had a good week. Let me know in the comments if you went over 1,300, if you went over 1,400. Please jump in and let me know that one there. We'll jump private group there. We had a couple of good scores. No one absolutely crazy. I haven't seen any 1,400s here in that, or 1,398 there from second there, which is good, and a 1,463 from Gabby there. Gabby, wow. Moved up 10,500 spots. So very, very impressive on that front. So we've got plenty of work to do, but hopefully for me this week, it is a week where I don't have to trade. That would be cool. And obviously Armstrong at least isn't going to go up this week either. And just missing Brayley and obviously missing Kaipis Paul, but I'm in a situation where I don't need to trade because of that. So let's hope for no injuries coming into this week and I can hold trades again and leave myself with a bunch for the mid to back end of this year, and we can make a bit of a plunge. Like last year we came 2,000, so hoping to better that this year. So that's the overall team. Let's move to the head-to-head side now, which had a little bit more of a tougher time. So a big move out, unfortunately, with the 1,200. We're at 6,705, and I lost both my head-to-head wins, which were important. Only got 1 out of the 5 in total. Didn't end up using any trades, so that was a positive there, leaving me with 24. A team value a little bit lower at 14.76 compared to 14.9, and we're definitely due for a bounce back. So we had some good parts to it. We played Galvin. We had a few that were out with Plath, with Chan there, with Taylor May. Weren't going to play him anyway. But we did get some positives in there with Talangi and Young being played. Meany had a great week at 98. And unfortunately, the captaincy of Asako. So I vice captain Holmes and captain Jermaine Asako there, which didn't work out too well at all. And lost him some points there at a minimum. Sort of 30 if you drink water. So that wasn't the main problem. 2RF was a little bit of a problem, choosing to end up playing Sean Lane early and then changed my reserve, which I think I had on Appy, and moved that to Kaipis Paul in the end. So that cost me 19 points, which isn't crazy, but to not have that 78, did get Galvin 79, but just not having the Ellie Katoas and these Armstrongs and these types of guys that picked up really good scores. Like I got some decent ones elsewhere, but just those couple of extra gets you into the 1300s, and you're making some good headway into the rankings there for sure. So wasn't perfect by any stretch. Obviously, Adam Fanua-Blake down, hurt a little bit. Sean Lane's 41, Smithy's 47. Just some very average scores in there, which instead of a 70 or an 80 or an Armstrong 100, keeps you down at 1200 rather than being in the 1300. So pretty simple at that front. Main issue with this squad is I think it's it's funny, week to week it changes quickly. Like my overall team a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, we're not looking that great. Made a few trades that worked out, and haven't made a lot of ranks, but the team's looking more well-rounded. And then this squad now, Plath will be back this week, which is good, but Liam Henry not in the squad right now. Joe Chan not in that squad. Johnson injured, and then Taylor May getting stood down. It leaves the squad a little bit more vulnerable, and I think we might have to make a couple of trades this week. We will see, because if I can get a really strong 17 or 18 even, without sort of making too many trades, then I think that could work out. But there's also the other part of me that thinks, you might have to just clean up that squad a little bit. Or, again, you wait till next week in round 13, and then I can potentially make some trades if I need to for that week. And again, if not, if it's only one or two, I can save a few trades and then go harder at that round 14, because only one of my important head-to-heads plays in round 13. The other one has, one has a bye. So maybe round 14 is the one I try and launch at and get some good wins over that next few weeks there and remove some of that deadwood, because Johnson's going to return. We don't need to have Chan in there. Liam Henry might be a guy to move on, but who do you want to move on to in the front row forward? There are a few questions I've got to answer. Plath's going to be good through that period. Johnson's going to be good from round 14 onwards. And then we'll find out what's happening with Taylor May, because we're going to hold him through round 13, 14. But if he's still down out of this side, then he's definitely one that will need to go. And it may be for someone like Dylan Armstrong in round 13 as an easy straight swap. So a few things to think about, but we've done well with the Dom Young situation. The Osako one has not worked out. But for the Dolphins, who did they end up playing this week? They got the Warriors. So that's going to be a fun little matchup. Could be some tries there if they play solidly like they have been. But the Warriors were, big improvers there. Still don't have Johnson. Egan's going to be out. So there's still going to be a few things they need to sort out. Maybe Tohu Harris is out. I'm not sure. But surely he gets some points in that one. And we've got Drinkwater and Holmes. Surely that's a Cowboys, good game from there. Because we're definitely due for a Holmes breakout game. He's been pretty poor. They're back at home this week. We really need that for sure. And as I said, we'll jump in and look at the leagues. Got done by a 1400 in there and a 1331. So it was, never anything. I needed a Sarko to go bonkers, which didn't happen. Living the dream beat me by almost 100 there. And so not ideal. We were, 3,000 a couple of weeks ago. We've gone backwards 2 weeks in a row. Thankfully got wins last week. But that's where we're at this stage of the season. Still lots of good things to come. I'm excited to see where it all ends up, and it's going to be a bounce back, positive Green Arrows week this week coming. And I wish you all the best of luck. Jump in the comments, let me know how you went. And as I said, any 1300 pluses, 1400s, any 1500s. I haven't seen one of those yet, but I'd love to see it. And thanks for being here, and we'll see you in that buy, hold, sell in a couple of days.